You think you know me?
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Finally getting out for my first Indian demo ride. And of course I'm starting right off on one of the bikes I might want to buy. 2025 Super Scout. There it goes. It's starting. Alright, this is going to be different than riding mine because it doesn't have the higher bars on it, so. And I got to get used to not having the floorboards. This is going to be a little different riding this, but we'll give it a shot, see what it feels powered like. Seating position is similar to mine. Of course, this windshield's a lot smaller. Of course, I don't have the floorboards, which you can easily adapt to this, so all the touchscreen controls, you can switch everything out. This has the cruise control. Mine has cruise control too, so we'll see how this ride goes today. Got to get used to not having floorboards and stuff. For some reason, I feel like I'm sitting lower or something. Sitting weird without having my floorboards too. Alright. Pretty smooth takeoff. Let me close my visor. Power wise, I'm not sure if I'm going to notice much more power since my 60s tune. Although I'm in 4th gear right now, this thing does feel smoother than it usually does with mine in 5th gear right now, which is my top gear, so. Having a smaller windshield, that would be something I would replace. Actually, I'm in 5th gear doing 65, and then there's 65 in 6th gear. Not bad, pretty smooth actually. I would say it's definitely smoother than my Scout 60 is. Having the lower windshield right now is not too bad. I would have to see how that is on the highway doing 75 or 80, but honestly it's tolerable so far. I came up here, I'm at Maddie's of Buffalo. There, yeah, I gotta get used. Controls are a little different than what I have right now, but yeah, I feel like I'm sitting up a little bit closer. Maybe not. Let's say I'm used to the position on mine, different seat and backrest, and say 5th gear is pretty smooth. I rode a Chief bobber. I feel like the transmissions on these newer models shift a little bit better. Not bad. I'm gonna have to find time to play around with the controls a little bit because there's a lot more with the touchscreen. Coming from a basic 60 that doesn't have any of this stuff. This bike's so quiet and smooth right now after me having louder exhaust. Actually, I'm not even shifting down properly like I should, but the bike's not working too hard though. That little bit of a pull in 4th gear is not a huge difference from mine. I'm not really pinning the throttle at all. I'm thinking if I was to go with this model, I definitely need to go with the taller bars again. I definitely need a backrest like I have now. Seat's not horrible. I don't know. Let's say I have to spend more than a little bit of time in this seat to really see how it goes. 3rd gear pull, not too bad. Not sure what mode I'm actually in though. I'm gonna have to check that out. The screen. That brings up speedometer and RPMs. That brings up your fuel gauge, which I don't have the fuel gauge. I'm in 4th gear. This bike's got 694 miles on it. It's 79 degrees out. This has got a lot more tack. This is, of course, the Limited Plus with all the tack and the gear and everything on it. I got gloves on too, and this actually changes pretty easily. It does feel smooth though. Like I said, I don't know. I can't tell if there's a huge difference between mine and this. Mine's got 54,000 miles on it too, so it's just nice having all the updated tech on it. And you don't have to get all this tech. This is all stuff that if you get the Limited Plus tech, so you got a little turn gauge. It's definitely different. You could get the standard model, which has like the old style gauges like what we have now on the previous generation of Scouts and Scout bobbers and Scout 60s, and Can't really tell turning wise. It feels all right. I would have to spend a whole day on this thing, really. I'm so used to having my bike positioned the way I like it and the loud exhaust. Mine has a little bit more of a rumble, a lot more rumble, honestly. Say, riding in third gear right now. That's about a quarter throttle. It pulls decent. So I say, right now my positioning, I feel like my legs are up higher than on my bike. I feel like I got more of a normal seating position on my 60. And I don't know if that's because I have a Mustang seat and stuff, or if it's just the way these sit now. Because I know really the seat, you're less on the tank. You're still close to the tank, but you're less on the tank. I'm in second gear now. Can't even rev bomb. It doesn't have the loud exhaust. I definitely would have to raise the bars up on this. Bike's not really working too hard. There we go. Yeah, that pulls. Holy shit, that was a third gear pull. That definitely pulls a little bit better than the 60 does. At least it feels like it anyway. I am actually in sport mode. I just noticed there's a little tab at the bottom of the screen. So, but these do have like a sport and a touring mode. I gotta switch through the screens again. I don't remember everything exactly on this. I don't know. I have to see if I could change on the fly. Brakes feel about the same as what we got now on these. And of course you could play with all the different modes and stuff. This says it's getting 42 miles per gallon, but we're in the sport mode right now. It'd be interesting to see what it's like in regular mode when I'm actually doing a long trip on one of these. But it says 77 degrees. Battery's at 14.2, 205 degree engine temperature, which seems to be about normal for what my Scout 60 would do in traffic. Maybe a little bit less than that, honestly. 207. I know these sit, the radiator sits back into the frame a little bit more now than on our first gen Scouts do. Yeah, I feel like I'm sitting a little bit lower. My feet are a little bit closer to the ground when I go to stop. I don't know the exact stats, but I really want to get this thing into like a regular mode. He's on the 101 Scout. And those are nice looking bikes, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I felt like when I was sitting on those, when I went down to Kentucky, or not Kentucky, Tennessee and stuff, I felt like I was a little bit more lean forward. I still feel like I'm leaning forward on this, but that's just the bars. I need my bars to be up like right here. And it says I'm in third gear. It's probably hard to see it on the camera though. 38 miles per hour, third gear. It's 2 o'clock. A lot of nice features. It's got your air pressure gauge too. Let's say there's a little button at the bottom. You can touch everything. You can see the gauges. Ride command, I think, is right there. Current ride, 55 minutes, 27 miles. Obviously, that's not what I've done. 44 minutes of moving, 10 minutes of stopped. 384 feet. It's got all kinds of stuff on it. Some of it may not be useful for a lot of you, and the other people really into tech and stuff might really enjoy something like that. But I'm thinking this bike is a lot smoother than mine though. You got maps. We'll hit the map thing, maybe, possibly. I don't know if it's gonna let me do it. There it goes. It only likes my index finger. It's not liking the thumb. But there's your map. We're riding along Lake Erie to the left. This is Old Lakeshore Road. We're in Hamburg, New York, near Buffalo. And of course, with all the modes and everything on there, you can connect your phone right to it. Keep your phone right in your pocket. You got music. You can play music. I'm sure it's off your phone. Controls it, obviously. There's no speakers on this thing. Indian's already got a bunch of accessories. Like these bars, that are on here now are kind of like the original ones I think that were on my Scout 60 from the factory, other than being chrome instead of black. I just think, you know, I need the taller bars. You can get other bars, I believe. You can, I know you can get the other risers for this. There's the lake, folks. This thing is a lot smoother. I'm going to go ahead and say right now that this thing's a lot smoother than my 60. But then again, my 60's got 54,000 miles on it, like I said. Anybody want to ride up into Canada? I got my passport. I don't think they'll take the demo ride up to Canada, though. But of course, I'd have to switch over to kilometers for my speed, so I don't think they do that for you. You left part of the group behind. I am going anyway, I don't care. But there's a lot of carryover stuff, like the front forks, the rear swing arm, handlebars. I think these look like the grips that might have come on my bike originally. I never rode with those. I always had Avon grips on mine. Brakes are a little different. Everything's a little bit more hidden on this now with the wiring and everything. I'm not really having an issue with this windshield being so small, though. It isn't bad. Like I said, I really need to be on the highway for about 20 minutes, half an hour to really gauge if that would be enough for me. I doubt it would be, though. Like I said, I'd have to be doing my like normal ride to work, which is like 40 miles one way, 75 miles an hour. But at low speeds, what we're doing so far, nothing really over 45. You know, my bike being tuned, you know, the powers on this is going to be still a little bit more. This doesn't feel quite as jerky in the lower gears. It's actually pretty smooth right from the factory. As I said, my biggest thing with this is I would have to go with floorboards and crash bar and definitely taller bars. I'd like to be able to sit upright more. My ass isn't sore in the seat, though, from this little bit of riding so far. As I said, I could easily take my sheepskin off my Scout 60 now and throw it on this. Say, this already has the bags and everything on it, so, you know, I'd probably get a sissy bar and use that for traveling, kind of like I do now. I'd go with Dean Speed probably, though. I like a nice tall Dean Speed sissy bar. But of course, there's your mode, folks. Rain, standard, and sport. Traction control on. I want to go to standard if I can get it to go. I just want to feel the normal, because I don't think I would ride in this every day. Yeah, it's not letting me change it. But it doesn't like my gloves for changing the modes. But yeah, there's your rain, standard, and sport. I was hoping they had a touring mode. Not that this bike was meant for touring, but I mean, it's geared for it. There we go, standard mode. I can feel a little bit of a change without even touching the throttle anymore. Because I would more or less probably just be in standard mode for the most part. So, there. This thing will still pull in standard mode. I'm in third gear. I just jumped up to about 65 like nothing. So, the modes are nice, but I don't know. I mean, I would use it, but shit, I don't race nobody. But that thing still pulls pretty good. But all in all, this is a great bike. I really don't want black again, though. And they do have other colors, so. But this has been fun. I got to finally ride one of these things. I sat on a couple of them already, but I like it.
Yeah!